Hello, good day, everybody. Once again. Yesterday we we got the news that the US, uh, sent some bomb to Iran nuclear sites, as you can see on my screen. And as traders, you want to look at what is the implication of that, for the market. Nobody expected what happened yesterday. Everybody was looking forward to the peace talk. The president of the United States has already said 2 weeks, but now I think the dimension of that war is going to take a new direction, and of course for traders, what does it mean? If you trade, if you're a trader. So going forward, the first thing we're going to see is right now US today is talking about investors brace for oil price hike, rush to havens after US bombed Iran nuclear site. What normally happens is that oil is always the first is the one that will first of all take impact because of what is happening. And what you always notice is that during war or rumors of war like this, what you have is that we have a oil price, spike. So tomorrow, or sorry, later today, when market open into tomorrow, it's likely we'll see the oil price go up. Also for the dollar also do well. As you can see, the key point, the US attack on the Iranian nuclear site is expected to cause market reactions, potentially increasing oil prices and strengthening the US dollar. So investors rush to, to the dollar because of course it's a global currency. So let's go to the chart to go see what do we expect. As you can see, oil so far so good has been pushing forward. Now on the weekly time frame, you see that it's been bullish, for some couple of weeks. And of course, with the new development that we have now about the strike by the US on the Iranian um nuclear site, we're expected to see price, likely we see price push forward and actually probably break out from this range around $73, which is so for the what that means is that other countries we need to buy other countries that are not producing oil, we need to buy crude oil at a higher price because of what is happening in Iran, because US has gotten involved already. All right. So let's see the impact. Let's see what we are likely to see on the US dollar. So far, so good. We've been for some couple of weeks, you've been listening to me. You see where I marked out. We've seen that price has been bouncing up from here around that $97, and I've been very, very cautious of trying to sell the dollar. So for the couple of past of weeks, I've been, selling the Euro USD and pounds USD. Although those trades can be very risky, I've been using very tight stop loss. Why? Because I've not really seen a clear direction or breakout. But last week when market closes, I mean, we saw that the dollar bounced off from this support nicely, forming something that looks like a reversal, looking like a doji if you look at these candlesticks. All right. So, and I've been saying this for some couple of weeks that as long as this support holds, we might see the dollar push forward a little bit. Another reason why we saw the dollar bounce off from here last week was because of the interest rate. The president of the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, you know, kept the interest rate steady, even though the U.S. president wants him to cut interest rate. So and because of that news, we saw price, push forward. We saw the US dollar, show a little bit of strength around this support. And with what happened yesterday, with this war that is going on, and the fact that US is getting involved right now, I also expect price to the dollar to hold steady as well. So we are likely to see price for the dollar keep pushing forward. And what does that tell you? If you look at currency, let's look at currency. If you look at Euro USD, Euro USD has been very, very strong, as in comparison to the dollar, it's been holding on. And although we are still within this range, we are still below around 1.16. I am still looking for price to either do this at market open. We have something that looks like this, and then we continue to the downside. All right, that's if the dollar keeps if the dollar keep showing its trend based on what happened yesterday. Also on the weekly time frame, you can see that price, seems to be pulling back. We have something that looks like a doji, looking like we might see price push to the downside. Although for me, for Euro USD, it's still very bullish. It's still looking very bullish, but we are likely to see something that looks like a pullback from around this top around 1.16. All right, based on the fact that the dollar is holding steady, as well. If you look at what pounds USD is also doing, we are throughout last week we had a little pullback, though this support, the support around there is still proving to be solid. As you can see, it's still holding. The support we have around there is still holding. So we'll see how price will react to the support this week. If you look at the weekly time frame, however, we can see a nice pullback, which is showing that the pounds is actually weakening. Although the support is very, very important. I would say that all is what we're going to see in this major dollar pair is actually depending on what the dollar index is going to do this week. But based on what I said earlier, what happened yesterday, we are likely to see the dollar hold steady for the week if all things being equal. All right, if we don't see any further escalation, I mean what I've been seeing in the major news media is that we are likely to see Iran, come to the negotiating table to try and talk this out so that this thing doesn't escalate further than it is. But then anything can happen. They can decide not to talk about to come to the peace talk, and we can have a further escalation, which is going to be very good for the dollar, because people will be rushing the dollar. If you look at however, for gold, let's look at what is happening with gold. We still come with Bitcoin also. We can see that Bitcoin is really taking a beat. But before we do that, we see that so far so good. I expect that when market open, I'm expecting a further push up for gold. Why? Because gold during war, gold seems to over the years, gold have been very bullish. Anytime there's an escalation of hostilities like this, and there's a rumor of war, we are likely to see investors rush to gold. Because why? Because gold is seen as an investor safe haven. If you look at what we have on this chart, see that gold has been super bullish. Like I've been mentioning on this channel, I always like to stay away. I mean, for the past couple of months, I like to stay away from trying to sell gold. I'd rather, wait for gold to pull back, and then I'll buy. And then with the development that happened over the weekend, this weekend, I'm very bullish on gold. We are likely to see gold, push to the upside, probably test this all-time high at 3,500 and keep pushing. If the war intensify, I've seen so many reports that is calling for gold at $4,000, as well. Now let's check what Bitcoin is doing. The news of this war has, Bitcoin has not taken it easy. You can see that price has been pulling back like aggressively for Bitcoin. As you can see on the chart, we've seen price is been pulling back very aggressively for Bitcoin. Price has been pushing back. Why has been pulling back? Because of the escalation and the fact that US has also gotten involved. So when market open proper by the end of today into tomorrow, we are likely to see Bitcoin push down, further down. All right. So let's look at what has been happening with the JPYs. I don't always like this video to be too long. If you are new to my channel, ensure you subscribe and also like. Also, if you want to become part of our community, I'll be dropping the Telegram link in the description below, so you can also join our community. As you can see, the JPY has been pulling back, aggressively. I already have this place marked out to see how the JPY index is going to react around 745 and then 744 region. But so far so good, we've been pulling back, and that's why if you notice, so far we've been seeing every JPY pairs pushing forward, since we have JPY pairs pulling back. So the JPY index pulling back, the USD JPY as well. I'm trying to look for the pair. Give me a minute. The USD JPY as well has been, we've seen price, take a buy. I took it. Sorry, I'm still holding a buy around there. Although I'm trailing that position nicely, I've been holding this position for almost 3 weeks now. Expecting price to keep pushing forward, because price tap into our structural liquidity. I think I shared this some couple of weeks ago. My stop loss was initially below this spot, but after I see this pullback and this bounce, I jumped on the buy and I'm still holding this position. Although I've taken out some of my profit, I'm holding the other position with a very tight trailing stop. All right, like I mentioned earlier, if you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Also, if you have not joined our community, make sure you do so. It's free to join. I'll be dropping a Telegram link in the description below. Make sure you join. So I'll be stopping here today. I don't want this video to be too long. So I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful trading week.